All right, so we are going to be finishing up the 6-4 projectile motion that we worked on yesterday. So flip it to the back. If you want, there's more copies right over there. All right, number 2. A player throws a basketball toward the hoop. The basketball follows a parabolic path through the points shown. If the center of the hoop is at 12:10, will the ball pass through the hoop? Units are in feet. So, I know yesterday I showed you how to do the quadratic model with using the systems of equations, right? I would probably, if you're going to use the calculator, I would do quadratic regression just because it's going to be faster, right? And as a little hint, you do have a lot of these word problem type things on the calculator portion of your test. Your test is not going to be on Friday because we're getting a little behind, which is okay. It'll happen sometime next week. Sometimes next week we'll be in this class. I don't know when with EOC and everything, but we'll do the test next week. All right, so I would use quadratic regression if you have a calculator and you're trying to model data. I think it's faster. So as a little review, we're going to make a table, and I'm going to use my points as a table. So one of my points is 210. Then I have 412, and then I have 1012. You cannot use 1210 as one of your points because we don't know for sure that it's going to go through the hoop. So these are the only points that we can use. Then you're going to go to your calculator. This is when you do new document. It says, do you want to save? Say no. The notes? Yeah. From yesterday? Yeah. Were you here yesterday? Yeah. Tuesday's right there. All right, so you did new document, and then we want to go to list in spreadsheets because I want to make a list. So list in spreadsheets, and then you get this screen right here. We're going to put all of our numbers in. All my X's in there, and then I'm going to put all my Y's in. Don't forget you have to go up here and label your columns. So you need to say, okay, column A, those are my X values. And then you have to say, okay, column B, those are my Y values.
That's the first thing I do. Does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can do that first. All right, then you're going to go to menu. You're going to go down to statistics, stat calculations, and because I have a quadratic, I'm going to go down here to quadratic regression. Then this pops up. For the X list, you have to use your arrows. So arrow to get the drop down guy. We're going to put X in the X list. Y in the Y list. Bless you. Bless you. Hit enter, and then you get the A, B, and C. All right, so now I know A, B, and C, and I can write it. Excuse me. Write it as Y equals. So Y equals negative 0.125. Bless you, bless you. X squared plus 1.75 X and then plus 7. So A, B, C. All right, does anybody need help with that on their calculator? All right. Did you not get it still?
Is this really for me?
No, what?
especially on the 12-12, 8 They got me doing 135 on 12s and 145 on 8s.
Alrighty, so we're not done yet. I want to know if this equation is going to pass through the point 12, 10. So there's a couple different ways you could do this. You could plug 12 in, see if it equals 10, or you can plug it in to the calculator.
Oh my Lord Jesus Christ.
Negative 0.125 x squared plus 1.75x.
Do we have to?
No, you could just plug 10 in. All right, and then I'm going to go to the table, and I'm going to scroll down to 12 and see if it passes through 10. Does it?
Yes.
So is it going to pass through the hoop?
Yes.
Yes. So you can graph it on the calculator, look at the table, or you can just plug 10 in to your plug 12 into your function and see if it equals 10. So either way.
So we put yes?
So we're going to put yes. Because at 12, does it say seconds or anything? I'm going to assume seconds. Seconds, ball is at 10 feet. Maybe it's milliseconds. I don't know. It doesn't tell me. All right, does that make sense? All right, go to number 4. It's going to be the same thing. Now, let me show you kind of a quick way to do this. Go back to the home screen. Now, we've already done the whole like menu, stat calc, all of that stuff, right? So you don't actually have to do it again. If you go down to My Documents and you click Unsaved Documents, that will bring you back to your old screen, right? And then we can go in here and then type in the new numbers. So 0, 1, 2, 46, 63, 48, 3. If you get something like this where it says dimension error or error like that, just press OK. Just go through it. It'll fix itself once you get all the numbers in. All right, so if you get an error, just press Enter to clear it out. It will fix itself as you get every point in. So then it automatically changes your A, B, and C, so you don't have to do all of those steps again, which kind of makes it quicker. Make sense?
I still did it anyway.
That's okay. I mean, you can start over and do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take that long. A man throws a ball off the top of a building and records the height of the ball at different times as shown in the table. A says find a quadratic model for the data. So, according to my calculator, I have my A, B, and C. So how would I write that as a model? Negative 16. I'm going to use T because it's in time, but you can use X if you want. And then plus 33, X or T, and then plus 46. All right, so there's my model of the data. All right, any questions so far? All right, part B says use the model to estimate the height of the ball at 2.5 seconds. So 2.5, is that the T or the H? The T, right? Because seconds is time. So 2.5 is the T. So all I have to do is come up to my function and plug it in for T. So H is going to equal negative 16, 2.5 squared plus 33, 2.5 plus 46. All right, I can type that into the calculator and I get 28.5 feet. All right, any questions so far? All right, I'm going to add in another little part here because there's a question on your test that's going to look like this next part here. So if you want to star it or something. I want you to find what time the ball is at 50 feet. I mean, there's a question like this on your test, so yes. All right, so this one is kind of just the opposite way. On this one, I want to find the time when the ball's at 50 feet. So what am I giving you, the H or the T? The H. So I'm giving you the H. So I know that H is going to equal 50. So 50 equals negative 16 T squared plus 33 T plus 46. All right, I don't know what the time is. I only know the H. So we haven't talked about how you solve this by hand yet. So you can use the calculator to solve this. Let me show you how you do it. All right, so we're going to go into our graph. I mean, I guess, well, I don't know if NSOLVE will actually work. No, because NSOLVE is for a linear equation. I don't think it'll work for this.
Yeah, I got 0.1293.
It might give you one of the answers, but there's two answers. So I don't think NSOLVE is going to work because there's going to be two answers. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to type one side of our function in. We're going to type our quadratic model in.
Are we gonna use
This guy right here. So negative 16. Your calculator doesn't know what t is, so you have to put x. All right, type it in. You get your quadratic, right? And I want to know when this quadratic hits 50. So all you got to do is go up here, press tab to get another equation, and we're going to type in 50 because I want to know when is it going to hit 50. Just 50. No x or anything. It's just 50. Press enter. Now nothing pops up. The reason why nothing pops up is because right now your scale is only going to like 7.39 or something like that. So you need to make your scale bigger. If you go to menu, window settings, we want to make our y value go much bigger. How much bigger do I want my y value to be? 60, right? It needs to be at least bigger than 50 because I know I want to know when's it going to hit 50. So, yeah, that would, I mean, you probably want to go a little bit bigger just so it's easier to see, but 51 would be fine. So bigger than 50 though. So I'm going to do 60. All right, and so now it pops up. I can see my whole quadratic, and I can see my line 50. And so I can see that it's going to hit 50 at these 2 points. All right? I need to find those points, though. So in the calculator, if you go to Menu, Analyze Graph, like we did in the very beginning of the year, which one of these guys do you think I'm going to pick to find those points? Is it a maximum, though? What is that called when the two lines are crossing? Intersect. So I want to find the intersection. So I'm going to click intersection, highlight one of them. Do I want the x value or the y value?
Okay,
I want the x value because the x value is time. So one of my answers is 1.93 seconds. And then if I keep scrolling, your dot moves. And the other answer is going to be 0.129 seconds. So both answers are going to be needed. Because your ball is going to go up and hit 50. It's going to keep going up and then come back down and hit 50 again. So it hits 50 feet twice. Did you put 50 in? Like type 50 in your graph so you get the red line at 50 and then do it. Press tab. At 50. Oh. Then do you want it? Alright, and so then once you get your 50 line, this is at 50. So no matter where I can find any point I want, you would just have to graph the horizontal line at that number. Alex, did you have a question? I don't know yet. It depends on the EOC schedule. So when they send the EOC schedule out, I will know. Sometime next week, though. Sometimes next week. All right, so remember, I don't know if you want to star this one on your notes, but there is one like this on your test. So make sure y'all review how to do it when I give you the Y value. We've done a lot where I've given you the X value, not a lot when I give you the Y value. So that's why I wanted to make sure. Are you raising your hand?
A lot of people say they already have final schedule.
Not the EOC schedule. I have the final schedule. I don't have the EOC schedule. I don't know. Because I don't know if they're doing practice ones or if it's just like if you failed.
But are the EOCs they're not on finals, right?
No.
So why do we take those?
You probably won't have to take any EOCs unless they're doing like a practice EOC. So the EOCs that's happening, it's like if you take the EOC at the end of the year and you fail it, you have another chance to take it in December to pass.
Okay.
And so if you pass it, you don't have to take it. But then sometimes they use that also as an opportunity to do practice EOCs.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're doing practice EOCs or if it's just if you failed. So I don't know. If it's just if you failed, it probably is not going to affect our class that much because I don't think a whole lot of you have failed the EOCs. So I don't know. But if you do practice ones, then a lot of y'all are going to miss.
Why the heck do they have EOC?
Beats me. All right. Number 5. Okay, number 5, it says find a quadratic model g of x for the given points, -1, -9, 0, -4, 2, -6, and then determine g of 3. So, same thing. We are going to come in here, and I'm going to put all of my points in my table to get the model. So, -1, 0, 2 are my x's. I'm going to delete that guy. -9, -4. I'm doing number 5 right now. Right? I just put my numbers in. Alright, so I put my X's in, I put my Y's in. It spits out my A, my B, and my C. So, to write the function g of x equals -2x squared plus 3x minus 4. And if I want to figure out what g of 3 is, what do I do?
Plug in 3 on the Xbox.
Right, plug in 3 for the Xbox because 3 is in the place of x. So, I'm going to plug 3 into the x. And then if you don't want to do it by hand, you can come over here, type it in your calculator. And you get -13. Alright, so I have my model and what g of 3 is. All right, we're almost done. All right, so in my calculator, I'm going to, once again, retype these numbers in for the table. So let me see. I'm going to draw some 6. 14. We don't have a 14. 19. Iris, you're 19.
Actually, I'm 20.
But that desk is 19. So what are my x values that I'm going to type in?
0, 20, 40.
0, 20, 40. So 0, 20, 40. All right. Ashley, what are the y values I'm going to type in?
120, 83, and 50.
All right, 120, 83, and 50. 8. Orlando, what is my a value? Can you see it? Very good. 0.005 x squared. We'll pick the people in front. Haley, what's my b value? My
Value
mhm.
is negative 1.95.
And Quay, what's my c value? 120. All right, so there's my model. And so now it says to estimate the water at 30 seconds. So, Noah, what do I do with 30?
That's the time.
That's the time. So is that x or y?
X.
X. Very good. So I'm going to plug it in to the x because time is x. So 0.005 30 squared minus 1.95 30 plus 120. Did anybody go ahead of me and have that answer? 66. Very good.